Hey there, Paisanos! Welcome to my review of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. This has been a movie a lot of people have been waiting for a long time. Or at least a good one, that is. And it's one I've been waiting for a long time as well. Ever since it was first announced, ever since we got the trailers, I've been waiting for this movie. And I've been a Mario fan ever since I was a little kid. Ever since the Super Nintendo days. To say which one was my first one, that might be a little hard. It would probably either be Super Mario Kart or Super Mario All-Stars plus Super Mario World. But to say which one of either of those it is, that I don't know. But it was just so long ago, but ever since those days, I've been hooked. And to say which one is my favorite, I would probably say Super Mario 64, but again, that's probably with the nostalgia goggles on. I do also like Super Mario Galaxy a lot as well. To say which one is my favorite outside the main line games, that one would be either belong to either Paper Mario or the 1,000-Year Door. They are very close when it comes to how much I love them. And I do like the Super Paper Mario as well, love that one, but after that it kind of all went downhill, and they've gotten a little bit better since, but it still hasn't really been the same. And one of the reasons people have been kind of curious about this movie is that there usually aren't that many good video game movies. Ever since the days when they first made video game movies, they are usually pretty bad. But it seems that in recent years, we've had some pretty good ones. We've had the first two Sonic movies, we've had Detective Pikachu, we've had Wreck-It Ralph, if you want to count that. So we kind of had a little bit of a renaissance, and I would probably have to say, I think that more has to do with the fact that nowadays the movies are getting made by people who grew up with them, rather than by a lot of people who never even played them. That's not to say that the people who made the original movies back then weren't fans, they probably were, but they just didn't really grow up with them, and they might not have the same nostalgic feeling inside as they do for a lot of people now. Another reason people were curious about this movie was that it's made by Illumination. And Illumination, people don't hate them, but they are pretty much the peak, the definition of mediocrity. I can't think of one movie where I was pretty much just clapping my hands going like, encore! There have been a lot of movies which I love so much where I pretty much like that, but for Illumination, it's just pretty much just like, that was good. That was good, I guess. Or just, well, wasn't bad. To me, I do like the first Despicable movie, but to go and say that I really love those movies is just, they didn't really need any sequels. I think the first Despicable movie was pretty much just good on its own. It didn't need any sequels, but because the Minions became a big thing, and they still are, they're pretty much everywhere. Even today, I still see a bunch of grandmas wearing Minions shirts. So, it's definitely become a big thing. I can see why little kids like it. I had my own stupid things when I was a kid, so to go and go on the kids today for going to like it, it would be hypocritical. So I know why they like it. They just don't really go and hit me in the right way in most of the other Illumination movies. So when this movie was first announced, because of that, people were really iffy about it. Out of all the studios that had to go and make a Mario movie, it had to be Illumination. Why can't it be DreamWorks or Pixar or anything like that? And Now, with what's going on with Pixar and Disney, I think people are kind of happy about that. So, Illumination, I think because they're a smaller studio, they probably allow a little bit more freedom with the creators of whatever they're working with. So, because of that, they didn't really go and butt in as much. So that I'm happy with. But so let's get into the actual review of this. What do I think of it? Well, let's look at the plot. So it's pretty much an origin story for the Super Mario Brothers. Some other Mario adaptations, they come from Brooklyn in this one, and I've often seen some people who don't like it when they come from Brooklyn. They want to be from the Mushroom Kingdom, but is it a canon? I'm sure it is. I think even in canon they're from Brooklyn, but quote me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was canon. But despite that, yeah, they're from Brooklyn. There's a bunch of plumbers who are trying to go and get into the business, but they're not really good at it. And people don't hire them, so and they constantly go and get bullied by their old boss Spike and their parents, or at least their father. Their mother's supportive of them, but not really their father. So Mario is just tired and he wants to go and make something big of himself. But even though no one except for Luigi really seems to believe in him. So one day they go and there's this big flood in Brooklyn, and they decide to go underground, go and investigate. And while there, they kind of get into this weird part of the underground where it doesn't like people have been there for years. And it kind of looks like what the original Mario Bros. Used to look like until they go and see a green pipe. And Luigi gets sucked in, and then Mario gets sucked in, and of course they go to the Mushroom Kingdom. Or at least Mario does. And then Luigi goes into the Darklands where Bowser is. So Mario knows he has to go and meet up with someone to go who can help him. So he has Toad, Peach, and Donkey Kong, that's kind of a weird choice, but to go and try to help him get Luigi back and stop Bowser from destroying the Mushroom Kingdom. So it's not really the biggest plot ever. It's not like it's going to go and have you on the edge of your seat or scratching your head, making you think like, oh well, I could write an essay on this. Nothing like that, just it gives you what you came in for. Super Mario Bros. The movie. To have Mario go and beat up a bunch of Goombas, beat up Bowser, get some power-ups, that's what it's giving you. And that's why I liked it. It doesn't have any forced messages in it. It doesn't have anything that people don't really want to go and hear about. It's just giving you Super Mario Bros. The movie. And they did it in the right way. So what did I like about it? Well, first off, it's a really pretty movie. Illumination does usually make pretty good-looking movies, but this one, it's colorful, everyone looks great. It can take some time to get used to the character models, but once you get used to them, they look pretty good. And it just, I really like the look of it. They get kind of like with many movies, they make the real world look a little bleak and the magical world look more colorful. It's not like the real world is completely bland, but it's what they usually do in these kinds of movies. There are a lot of references in this, so I was trying to go and spot as many as I could, just trying to go and look everywhere and also try to go and keep my eyes on the characters for the plot and everything, and just I found a few. I remember during one scene, it was around the end of the movie where Bowser and Mario are fighting, and he goes and punches Mario through a coffee shop. At least I think it's a coffee shop that says Punch Out. So that was a little one I saw. But just to go and try to go and find every single one, I probably didn't see all of them. But there were some good references here and there that I probably even wasn't expecting. The music is good. I noticed a lot of classic music in there, like during one scene, I'm pretty sure I did hear the Inside the Castle Walls theme from Super Mario 64. I heard, let's see, the Mario fanfare whenever he completes a level. And even though it's not music, I'm pretty sure I heard something from Paper Mario. At least I think I did. It's when the Luma was going and blowing on a flower, and I think I heard a sound from Paper Mario. I might have been mistaken, but that's what I thought I heard. So, the voices, they are also pretty good. Charlie Day as Luigi is probably my favorite. I loved him in there. And I wish he could have been in there a little bit more, but still, I think he did really great. I don't think I can see really anyone else as Luigi right now, other than Charles, of course, but... And everyone else, Bowser, of course, was really good as Jack Black. I loved him as that. He was also fantastic in that role. And Chris Pratt, he was okay. A lot of people were going and ripping on him earlier, but I think he did okay. It wasn't bad or anything. They could have gotten someone probably better, but still, I liked him in the role. And I do understand why they didn't get Charles, because just to go and hear the Mario voice for an hour and a half would have been... It would make a lot of people go insane. I love him as Mario, I can't see anyone else as Mario, but just... It would have been degrading. And I'm sure maybe he could have found a balance with making it sound like Mario, but not making it sound so just... making your ears bleed after a while, but... They probably also wanted to go and get some bigger stars in there because a lot of people are not going to know who Charles is. Unless you're a Mario fan or a big-time gamer, you're not going to know who he is. But you probably will know who Chris Pratt is. You probably will know who Charlie Day is. You probably will know who Jack Black is. So, I do understand why they didn't get Charles in there, but still, everyone else did really, really good. There were a lot of nice little Easter eggs, and just like with all the references, it's just trying to go and catch every single one. It's not the easiest thing, but I tried to go and catch as much as I could. A lot of people were also iffy on Peach being with Mario and going saving the day and everything like that, and Luigi having to be saved, but I know why they did it. It's because Mario and Luigi in the movie are already close to each other. They're really close brothers, so when he has to go and get Luigi back, it means a lot more than having to go and get this princess back that he's never really met. And they also had to have Mario and Peach together to go and get them be closer. You probably know that they're not going to go and get them actually be a couple in this movie. They do have some nice little shipping moments in here. There was one around the middle of the movie where Peach is talking about how it's a big universe out there and she isn't sure what world she's from, and it's a real nice moment between Mario and Peach. So they're not really getting them in there yet, but I'm sure probably in the next movie that they will. And there are a few bad things about the movie. One was that I wish they did have Luigi in it a little bit more. He was pretty much just kind of in the background for a little while. After he went in the cage, they pretty much just stopped showing him, and I wish he did show up a little bit more, but maybe for the sequel. I was also hoping for a few more other characters maybe to appear, like Daisy, Wario, or Waluigi. That was probably more just daydreaming. I know that probably wasn't going to happen, but I was hoping that maybe towards the end, maybe Peach would go and say something like, "Oh, Luigi, you would like my friend Daisy," and then Luigi would be like, "Ooh, Daisy, sounds pretty." Just to go and make sure that Daisy does exist in this universe, because does she even exist as well as Wario and Waluigi in the Mario canon? Because nowadays they pretty much never really appear. I don't think Waluigi has ever appeared in a canon Mario game, and Daisy and Wario, as much as I can know, have not appeared in a canon Mario game in years. So, to say whether they are more canon or not is beyond me. I also wish there were just a few more adult jokes. Because I know they were still making a kids movie in the end, but I kind of wish they'd still been a little bit more edgy with a few more of the jokes. So, one of the things is that a lot of the critics aren't liking it. And what do you expect from them? This movie is not made for them. It's made for the fans. That's what this movie is made for. The fans and the kids. If you're not a fan of Mario, you're not going to get this movie. You're not going to get any of the jokes. You're not going to care for the characters. You have to have at least played some Mario to go and like this movie. And I doubt any of those people any of the professional critics who are going to criticizing this have never played a Mario game in their life or haven't played a Mario game in 30 years. So, to me, I'm just ignoring them because they mean nothing. They don't know what they're talking about. I don't really care for them. And a lot of people have also been saying that that Peach was going to be a girl boss in this movie, and she really wasn't. There was about one scene where she was a bit of a girl boss, and it was during that scene where they're on the obstacle course, and she goes and does it in one try, and then she goes and tells Mario that she beat it on her first try when she was younger, and Mario had to go and do it dozens and dozens and dozens of times. It was only one scene, and throughout the rest of the movie, she was fine. There's no girl boss, there's no wokeness in this movie, which I do like. So Disney, yes, you should probably go and listen to that, especially if this movie goes and makes more money than any of yours. So, a lot of people have also been asking whether this will lead to a Nintendo Cinematic Universe. And it's hard to say because there's some movies I think that they could make and others that they couldn't. For example, I can easily see them making a Kirby movie or an Animal Crossing movie. They've already made movies about monsters and animals before, so that I can see happening really easily. It would fit right in with Illumination style. But to go and see them make something like Zelda or Metroid, that's a little bit harder because those are made for a more, not really mature, but for an older audience. And to go and try to go and have the same style that they do in most of the movies with those, it just wouldn't make sense. And even then, I kind of think that a Zelda movie may have to be 2D in order for it to work. It could work in 3D, I don't know. I would like to be wrong, but I can't see it working in 3D. It would look so weird. But who knows, maybe they can make a cinematic universe. It's just that some games I can't see them doing, while others I can, but how can they not go? If they were to go and make a Super Smash Bros. Movie, they had to have Samus in there, and they had to have Link, and they had to have their own movies in order for it to work, so it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. As for another Mario movie, I kind of wonder where they will go. Who the boss will be and everything like that. Personally, I'm kind of hoping Wario and Waluigi. getting my throat dry. Because to me, he could appear, but he's just too similar to Bowser. He wouldn't work. And another one like Dimendio or that alien thing from Super Mario Land. No one remembers the alien anymore, and Dimendio is from a Paper Mario game, so that probably wouldn't work either. But it's a few years away. It's probably about 4 or 5 years away, so they have a lot of time to go and plan for that. Overall, it's not the best movie ever, but it is good. I did generally enjoy it. They surprised me. I thought it wasn't going to be that good. I was scared that they were going to mess it up, but I stand corrected, Illumination. You made a good Mario movie. And, if you want to know my one from 30 years ago, I don't like it. It's stupid. I do know it has its fan base, but it's just too different from what Mario was supposed to be. It's not really, the new Mario movies, it's not going to be one I'm going to come back to watch a lot, but maybe every once in a while. It depends, and maybe I'll get it on DVD if they have some good special features, like some deleted scenes, interviews with the cast and crew, and then talk about what the future is going to hold for these movies and Nintendo Cinematic Universe. If they have that, then yes, maybe I'll get a DVD, but until then, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I do like the movie. It was great. If you're a fan of Mario, you will probably like this. If you're not a fan of Mario, then you're not going to get it all. You're just going to be wasting your time. So stay away from it. But to me, it was worth it. I liked it. And I'd probably give about 3 out of 5 superstars. They could have done a little bit better with the story, have a few more characters, spend more time on Luigi and all that, but overall, it was good. So good job on that, Illumination. I was an idiot for not listening to you, and you proved me wrong. Good job.